When I was little, I was very addicted to video games like 2K, GTA, and especially Fortnite.
You like Fortnite?
I would play 24/7, completely neglect my responsibilities, piss in the sink to play faster, and even was toxic while playing.
Fuck you. Fuck you, nigga.
I would spend all of my time thinking about the game, how I could optimize my keybinds to edit faster, what sensitivity would allow me to play the best, or what maps would hit the areas where my game was lacking. All my mental resources were devoted to the game. I would honor myself on improving and being good at Fortnite, yet completely neglected my improvement in real life, which visually manifested itself in my body. After a while of eat, sleep, game, repeat, I got tired of looking at myself in the mirror and decided to pick up fitness and drop the video games. I took the same mindset I had with video games and applied it to fitness. I would spend all my time thinking about how I could optimize my workout program, what skills I wanted to develop, how I could increase my mobility, what new aspect of fitness I wanted to get good at, how I looked, how much I weighed, all of it. I took the motivation, drive, and autistic obsession with improving in video games and applied it to an aspect of my real life. I was leveling up all different areas of my fitness skill tree in the game of life. This one instance changed my view of life and myself. Instead of using neuroplasticity to get good at video games, I used it to further my development in a variety of skills in real life. I took this skill tree approach to lots of things. For instance, YouTube. I saw it as another mini game in life with tons of options on the skill tree to get better at. For instance, improving the scripts, video edits, thumbnails, and upload times. I saw it with coding, different languages, features, and things I could do with it. None of this would be possible if I continued my daily gaming habit. Now, to create and as an art form, video games are actually pretty amazing, and they take an immense amount of intelligence and complexity to build. However, this complexity of patterns and feedback lead to a detriment in many of the game's users' life. Video games thwart your ability to be ambitious and strive in real life because it is a cheap replacement for real life progression. Our brains' core mechanics operate in the same way as our hunter and gatherer ancestors from over 70,000 years ago, including the reward center in your brain, which would naturally be rewarded for doing hard things, like increasing your tribe's resources, increasing your status, and getting mates. But instead, your brain is being rewarded to learn how to hit masters in Overwatch or Champions League in Fortnite and then get artificial Overwatch mates. There's a complete disconnect from your real life circumstances and your digital circumstances that you're being rewarded for. You could be a god at video games, understand all the metas and patterns, and then still be a fat loser in real life.
That son of a bitch! Who is that guy? Whoever he is one tough badass.
You're wasting your time, ambition, and probably even money on digital currency to level up and increase skills which have no viable transfer to any field in real life. What makes video games feel fun is learning patterns, game mechanics, and paradigms. The 6 core patterns in video games goes as following. Number 1, calculation of odds and prediction of events, essentially estimating the likelihood of something happening. Think gambling, rolling dice, or loot boxes. Naturally, this would be used to identify or calculate the odds of seasonal changes, choice in hunting grounds, and likelihood of edible plants. Basically, the ability to calculate for a positive or negative outcome of events. Number 2, social status and competition. This, I believe, is the most destructive one, particularly for young men. Imagine chasing prestige or a high rank in Call of Duty, leveling up your character to beat and have better skills than your friends or competition. Maybe even having skins just to flex on your Fortnite friends.
Woo.
That drive, which would naturally be channeled into chasing status in real life, for instance, in physical competition, physically outcompeting your opponents, leveling up your position in work or academia, or working on some form of creative expression. In many games, taking advantage of humans' natural thirst for competition and social status is combined with the third pattern. Number 3, teamwork. Collaboration and teamwork is a pattern of gaming that is used by many games in tandem with a rank board and competition. For example, squadding up with your friends, to compete and win against the other team or teams. These simulate community in the digital world, a brotherhood to make jokes with while you guys accomplish a shared goal. People to talk to.
I'm accepted in all those virtual reality worlds and the gaming world I'm in. No one sees me. No one sees me. That is my outside. That is my world that I can be the Casey I want to be, but not be judged on my weight.
Flexible cooperation and teamwork is one of the things that makes humans so powerful, as I discussed in my Sapiens video. Our ability to collaborate in small or even large numbers on a common goal is what drives progress in society. It's how video games are made. Without a coordinated group of skillful people working together on a common goal, creating a game wouldn't be possible. Absolutely nothing would get done, or the game would be ass. Number 4, spatial reasoning. Your brain's ability to reason through space. Think gauging and knowing the distance in a fighting game, or estimating how far you can jump, like in Mario. This naturally would be used for physical activity and a multitude of other things, for instance, drawing or moving a piece of furniture through a door frame. Number 5, memory. Remembering maps, games, players, their skill level, or even where they were on the map, which can tie into spatial reasoning and a whole lot of other things, because you have to remember players, the locations, where they are relative to you, where they are relative to you and your teammates, where you are relative to you and your teammates and the player, and where the zone is going. I played Fortnite last, so I'm thinking Fortnite. Number 6, visceral response. A visceral response is basically having a physical response to a non-physical event. For instance, getting scared in a horror game and having a physical reaction in real life.
Whoa! Oh my gosh! Oh no!
Now, I don't know how exactly this can be used in real life besides reactions from emotions, but you might achieve a goal in real life and get really hyped. On top of these core patterns, game mechanics and game paradigms are built. A game paradigm is basically the end goal of a game or condition of reward. For example, in Fortnite, the game paradigm of Battle Royale would be to be the last player left. A game mechanic, on the other hand, is little pieces of the game. Continuing the Fortnite example, think looting chests, shooting and sliding, or drinking a shield potion. Different combinations of the 6 core patterns, game mechanics, and game paradigms give birth to pretty much every game we've played. And the actual fun of the game is learning the mechanics and paradigms which are built on top of the 6 core patterns.
Pick a direction and it goes.
This may cause you to wonder, how can we take these building blocks of what makes games enjoyable and use them to make progressing in real life just as enjoyable, if not more? Life is harder than video games. Let's not pretend like it's not. That is a fact. Everyone is born with a different difficulty and skill level. The early game is completely out of your control and can dictate all about how your game moves forward. In reality, there is no clear rank system or progress bar. No clear objective to level up or even levels at all. Video games are clear-cut, simple, and reward us for our actions. We naturally think and care for the actions which reward us. So how can we make this happen in real life? Matrix Monkey. The first step is to completely drop your gaming habit for at least a week. But I recommend doing it until you're happy with your life circumstances. Because if you're not where you want to be, why would you be wasting time that is not pushing you towards where you want to be? Studies show that 80% of gamers get withdrawal symptoms when they quit playing their game of choice. However, gaming is not a hard addiction to beat, because after just over 48 hours, most addiction symptoms from gaming fade away. So basically just go cold turkey for a week. And within the time that you would normally be gaming, follow these steps and get really entrenched and addicted to that process and replace gaming with this process. If we think of life as a video game, everything becomes a skill tree and a mini game. So basically, you're picking the skill tree or mini game which you want to work on. And it's very interesting because it's almost like you can zoom in and out of a skill tree like you're using a menu. For instance, you can be stretching and working on mobility, to work on your kicks and martial arts, to work on your fitness, health, and physical appearance, to work on your self-improvement and improving yourself to level up your character in the game of life. When picking a skill tree, think of the character or person that you want to be. Also, find something with game mechanics that you enjoy. If you like moving your body through space, the game mechanics for calisthenics and martial arts would allow you to do that better than conventional strength training. But on a more general sense, if you want to be a fit person, exercise. If you want to be a more introspective and creative person, journal. If you want to be a mathematician, study math. If you want to be a musical artist, learn how to make beats, sing, or play an instrument. Basically, pick an avenue of which you want to improve in. And remember, each skill tree is like a mini game with their own game mechanics. For instance, in fitness, pull-ups is just one of many game mechanics. So choose the game style and play mechanics which resonate with you and the results you desire. Once you have a skill tree which you want to advance, you're gonna have to create an image of which you wish to attain from this endeavor. Get to know this image personally. Feel a deep attachment to this perceived version of yourself with these new abilities. Truly imagine it, feel it, and want it. For example, you want to be a musician? Visualize yourself playing a specific song without messing up. If you want to learn a new language, picture yourself having a conversation with a person in that language. If you want to make more money, imagine starting a business, getting a new job, or learning a profitable skill. Basically, flush out a clear objective or image that you want to achieve. This would be your short-term game paradigm, what you're playing the game for. Once you have that future image of yourself, you need to translate it into step-by-step metrics to achieve. Basically, breaking down the game paradigm into little objectives which give you trackable progress, turning the skill tree faded out into a step-by-step process with clear, tangible objectives, effectively gamifying this process of achieving your desired image. The way you want to break down your image is with a streamlined goal setting technique. The one that I made is a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly goal system. So think of the yearly goals as the ambiguous image or game paradigm. For instance, building an aesthetic body. You break that yearly goal down into monthly goals, which would be a fraction or around 1/12 of that yearly goal. For instance, see visible abs, gain or lose 2 pounds, hit a certain PR, or visit the gym X amount of times. Then you break that monthly goal down into weekly goals, which would be a fraction of that monthly goal. Say you want to hit the gym 24 times in a month, then your weekly goal would be to hit the gym 6 times a week. And then your daily goal is something that you achieve that day. For instance, research about exercise and write yourself a program that you can stick to and hit the gym today at 4:30 p.m. The end result should look something like this. You can have multiple daily, weekly, and monthly goals, but try and stick to one yearly goal per skill tree. Basically, you give tangible methods to how you can level up and know you're tracking your progression in a way that is just like a status bar. Reflect and update this every day in the morning as a way to gauge where you're at and what you need to achieve in the day. After you have a set list of objectives, you just need to repeat. Although gamers are used to this repeating of actions for a desired outcome. Basically, you want to spam whatever game mechanics you need to achieve whatever outcome you desire. Want to be aesthetic and have a better V-taper? Spam the game mechanic lateral raises to induce the game feature of hypertrophy on your lateral delt. Want to be a harder worker and a more present person? Spam the game function of focus with the game mechanic of meditation until you can do it for longer periods. Also, make leveling up fun, bringing the core mechanisms which make games fun, which are actually already built into all real life activities. But whatever out of the 6 core patterns your objective is naturally lacking in, supplement them, or even enhance the ones that they are rich in if the challenge is too easy. To remind you, the 6 core mechanics are a calculation of odds and prediction of events, social status and competition, teamwork, spatial reasoning, memory, and visceral reactions. Say you pick the skill tree of coding. You can add teamwork by joining discords on your favorite language, helping and getting help from others. You can add competition by doing competitive programming or setting an elite code goal for yourself to flex on others with. For spatial reasoning, you can draw or construct a diagram on how your code works, telling what information is being moved where. You can even enhance patterns with the skill tree you selected for is already high end. For instance, fitness involves a lot of spatial reasoning, using your body as a subject. However, sparring requires requires more spatial reasoning than the bench press. Going back to the coding example, which is a active memory heavy skill tree, you can enhance that pattern by picking a harder or more mentally challenging problem or project. Adding to the difficulty and amount of core patterns in your selected skill tree is important, but make sure you keep it at a manageable level. Don't gas yourself out to the point you don't want to play anymore. Video games do this by keeping you in what's called a flow state. A flow state is defined as a mental state in which a person is completely focused on a single task or activity. A state where one is directing all of their attention towards a task, losing themselves or becoming one with the task, not really having much thoughts that aren't centered or within the confines of the task. Think of an athlete saying they were just in the zone that game. Or Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, which I like as an example because like Mastered Ultra Instinct, flow state is the truest expression of what you already know and internalized. Basically, you're able to perform at the highest level of which your knowledge allows. Meaning, learning and flow state don't necessarily mix, or at least they aren't one and the same. Now, earlier in the video, I said games keep you hooked by rewarding you for learning patterns and mechanics, which is only partially true. If a game is too easy to learn, the players would get bored and stop playing. And if the perceived challenge of the game is too difficult and hard to learn, the player would get frustrated and quit. Game developers know this, so they keep the difficulty of the game in proportion or relative to the skill level of the player. So as the game teaches a character a new mechanic or skill, or the player's performance lets the game know the player got better, the challenge increases. Basically, the game tries to keep you in a flow state for as long as possible, whilst implementing new mechanics or things which are rewarded for learning. So how do we take this video game-like approach to flow and implement it into our real-life tasks? Well, first, as just discussed, we add or take away patterns and mechanics on our skill tree, which may be lacking or in too high of an abundance for our skill level. Second, we take on skill-based challenges. In the gym, you wouldn't try and bench 315 if you never even benched the bar. With programming, you wouldn't try and make GPT-6 without writing Hello World. With music, you wouldn't try and outcompose Beethoven without reading music. Pick the task to grind, which lead to learning and engagement. The last thing we can do is remember our past performances, which led to flow, and engage in challenges at that level for our new skill set. Knowing where you were and where you're at helps you decide where you can go. So now that you know the grind phase and how to access flow, you must become obsessed with the process of leveling up yourself and your skill tree. Wake up and work towards leveling up. When you eat, think about it. When you sleep, dream about it. Just how I did with Fortnite, make this t-shirt a reality. But now, the game is life. What's up, y'all? I'm back. As you could tell by that 20-minute banger that I just dropped. Now, if you liked the video, subscribe, obviously. Drop a like and a comment, because a lot of work actually did go into this video. Not 100 days worth of work straight, I'm not going to cap to you. But a lot of work went into this video. A lot of research, a lot of editing. A lot of time was spent on this video to give you a fully crafted piece. Also, if you couldn't tell in the video, I started building robots, y'all. So, you know, that's been a great little progress. I just want to tell y'all to get that off my chest because it's been heavy on my mind for my self-improvement stuff. And because of that, I've started a whole second channel called Caden on Computation. So I don't have any video up on there. Thinking about it, I'm probably going to post a video up on there because y'all should go and subscribe to that channel and watch the video that I have up on there at Caden on Computation. That's my second channel. On there, we're going to be doing mad posts, a bunch of more frequent posts in this channel. And this channel will be more higher quality videos because I'm spending most of my time working on robotics and building and just programming in general because I find it really fun and really purposeful for me. So go subscribe to that second channel. You will see me a lot on there. Promise I'll be posting a lot, and I'm getting a second phone for that channel so I don't run into storage issues like I've been running into recently a lot, especially editing this video because this video has taken up a lot of storage. And also, I have a Patreon. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so for just $2 a month. Now, this $2, I'm not gonna be blowing it, spending it on random shit. This $2, all the proceeds from the Patreon will go to funding robotics and to funding the channel and making better content for you guys. And also on the Patreon, I already have a ton of cool posts up and just a full 7-minute length video of me talking about the Patreon. And on the Patreon, we'll be doing exclusive content only. And yeah, if you get the $10 version, you will have access to a private Discord, which has not been dropped yet. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So don't get the $10 version yet, because you're not gonna get all the features. But all the features on the $2 version, you guys can go support $2. And if you want to get the $10 version, you'll still get all the features, just not immediately as you purchase. All that will be coming within the next 2 weeks. By December 6th, all of that stuff will be out. So go support the channel, subscribe to the Patreon. Like I said, all proceeds go to robotics and just improving the channel and making better content. On the KDL computation on the KDL computation channel, the more on the Patreon, the cooler the projects will be. And obviously, I'm going to start small because I just started this around my birthday. Oh, by the way, I'm 17 now. I turned 17 in October. But on the KDL computation channel, all that stuff will be on there. So go subscribe to the KDL computation channel. And if you want to help out, just $2. Just $2. Go subscribe to the Patreon and go watch the Patreon video. Comment on Patreon. On Patreon, I'll be able to easily reply. Even on YouTube, because I don't have that many subscribers. Comment on this video. Let me know how y'all liked it, because I want to be talking to y'all. I haven't talked to y'all in a minute. But that's it. Fucking 20-minute banger. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Stop playing video games. And at Z2, overcome Overwatch.